Good day, Coach Kennedy here, and I'm representing Quantum Training Systems, and today we're going to be doing a release for the glutes. I use the term release because, like all muscles, when they become restricted, compressed, as an example, the glutes from sitting, they can become sticky and fluid is compressed out of them. Imagine a sponge with water in it and then that water being squeezed out. This happens to our glutes a lot. This is not about whether the muscle is considered long or short. This is about creating movement in the sliding tissues in the gluteal region. And if you remember, when we think about the glute max, the glute med, the glute min, all the deep rotators, all the nerves, all the veins, all the superficial, deep fascia, meningeal fascia, visceral fascia, all this fascia that surrounds this area of the body, when everything becomes compressed, tissue can become very stiff and hardened. Collagen can stick together. And that's where adhesions happen, and then we don't slide, we react quickly, something pulls, and anywhere along that weak chain, something breaks. So the injury may not happen in the glutes, the injury could happen in the IT band, could happen in the foot. The weak link in the chain is what's going to break. So again, in terms of the copy, in terms of the fine details, that's all in the copy. Today is more about showing you positioning than anything else. Even the techniques are described in the copy as well, whether we're foam rolling, whether we're cross-frictioning or scratching or teeter-tottering or pin and stretching. You have great descriptions of that in the copy as well. The visual is just to give you something to compare to when you go through these. So setting it up, this can be tricky. I'm using a trigger point foam roller. I want you to imagine the grids coming down the center as the center of the actual grid itself. I'm going to put my right glute right on there. So I'm sitting pretty much center with the right glute. I'm going to extend that right glute. Left leg is bent. Arms are behind me, externally rotated. Chest is up and out. That's how we begin. The next thing I want you to do is imagine if you are sitting this way, you may have sat at a beach before, you may have sat on the ground. This is the sitting position we want you in, again with the right glute in the center. Once we've done this, if there's already discomfort, then that's maybe all this client needs to do today. Sometimes just sitting and compressing is all you're going to get out of someone's tissue. We build up to all these other techniques. They do not have to all be performed all at the same time. All right, next step. Once I've got this done, I'm going to cross that right leg above my left knee. If your clients don't have this mobility, we can keep the leg down. Now, once I have my leg crossed, I can feel a bit more tension in the glute region. So here again are the techniques, which I'll quickly go through. That's your row. That's all we want. I don't want to be on the bony part. This is the thick part of the glute. That's my row. I can perform my side to side, which again we call the cross friction or the scratching. I can even kind of teeter-totter over to one side, teeter-totter over to one side, sort of teeter-totter over. And then I can play and roll down. That's where I find it most sensitive, meaning there's probably more knots in this region. I'm going to then drop my leg down, glute is still on the grid. I'm going to come up and extend. And then I'm going to flex and extend my hips, my knees, and my ankles as I go through this. All I'm trying to do is get that whole area loosened up and create all this movement and fluid sliding through it. Keep the compression. Don't leave the actual foam roller until the full protocol is complete. The more compression we have, the more chance of change we're going to have. Change doesn't happen in one session, of course, but if it's done correctly over time, change will begin to happen. So, one more time, leg is long, left leg is bent, halfway through the grid, shoulders back, nice and tall and proud. Bend that leg, apply your rolling, your side to side, your teeter-totters, and your bends. That there will work the glute max. And if we go up higher enough in the hip, we start to hit a bit of that glute med area as well, so I can actually have my body drop. And now I'm in the glute med region. I can sit right in that region because it's part of the glute max, of course, but underneath gluteus medius and underneath that gluteus minimus. But it's mostly that gluteus medius region, that higher up region of the glute area we really want to focus this on, because those muscles work functions in the front of the body and the back of the body. Remember, glute med will internally and externally rotate, flex, and extend the hip. So they play a big role in what happens with their hips. So same position, elbow on the ground, shoulder above it. I'm in the higher part of my glute, and all I'm gonna do again is row. I can scratch side to side, I can teeter-totter, and I can also play with my bends. And as I'm bending there, I can definitely feel something going on in there. That is your release for your glute max and your glute medius region of the gluteal group of muscles. Follow these instructions, read the copy, make sure you practice these. This is one area that probably everybody could use something in, is the glute region, because we sit a lot. If there's questions, you always reach out. I'm Coach Kennedy, and we'll see you in the next video.